2022 is being celebrated as the 350th anniversary of Quakers in North Carolina.
It's a religion which had major impacts on the state and here in the Piedmont Triad. Its history still runs deep today. Fox 8's Michael Hennessy has more on their story.
The year was 1672.
I think a lot of times people think of Pennsylvania as the Quaker state, and as a historian I like to point out that there were Quakers in North Carolina before Pennsylvania existed.
George Fox, credited as the founder of Quakerism.
George Fox really began preaching and gathering the people in the 1650s in England.
Makes his way over to North Carolina after visiting some northern states.
We know from his journal that he was in the Albemarle region. He describes the swamps and encounters with Native Americans.
He met a Quaker family already in North Carolina, but his visit attracted more people to see what Quakerism was all about.
North Carolina was kind of much more frontier hinterlands, and noted in historical records of a bunch of fairly irreligious folks.
Gwen Gosney Erickson, a Quaker herself, historian and special collections librarian at Guilford College, says Quakerism, also known as the Society of Friends, believes in priesthood of all believers.
So you didn't need an elite priesthood or structures in order to have that faith experience.
And equality and direct access to the teachings of God.
Also recognized gifts of ministry from women as well as men, which was very controversial at the time, would still be controversial in a number of denominations today.
Also practicing as to not devalue human life.
Coming to a pacifist belief of saying that if there's that of God in everyone, then we want to act with kindness and understanding towards everyone.
At first, there were no clear statements against slavery. There were some Quakers who were major enslavers. But as the decades passed, that got modified.
By the 1770s, you're having clear statements of saying, this does not fit with our practices.
And as that time went by, Quakers had moved further west into what is now Guilford County. When war came, some of them chose to fight despite their nonviolent ways.
The local community was impacted by those battles, whether they were engaged in war directly or not.
Quakerism's roots run deep at Guilford College. The New Garden community established it as a boarding school in 1837, and it transitioned to Guilford College in 1888. As enslaved people looked to escape, these grounds became a first stop on the Underground Railroad.
You can find notices that enslavers would post saying, we suspect they went to New Garden, because they knew this was a place that people might seek out.
Although there's been a consistent Quaker presence since the 1600s in North Carolina, things have changed in terms of worship practices. In Greensboro alone, Quakers can worship in traditional ways like silent waiting worship. And then there are some churches that seem similar to other Protestant services. And the religion itself has migrated.
The largest international populations of Quakers are now in Africa and Latin America.
In Greensboro.
It's survived for 350 years.
Michael Hennessy.
It's not the same, but
Fox 8 News.
We'll continue to remix and address the world's needs as it may see.
And in March, Guilford College dedicated a historical marker commemorating the life of Lavina Curry, who was a black abolitionist who worked at New Garden boarding school and risked her life as an operative on the Underground Railroad.